Good afternoon and welcome to the demonstration of our scholarly application. My partner Angel and I will show off some of the application's features and functions. Right now, the interface is a little bit bare bones, but we're still going to be developing that further. But for the purposes of this demonstration, we wanted to show you when the user opens the application, what they'll first see is 4 tabs: the ability to generate acceptance letters, send emails, manage scholarships, as well as outstanding student awards. The user can come over here to the file option and open a file from their local device, to which they'll provide student information, and we'll store that temporarily and provide that over here on the right-hand side. And this list of candidates here can then be filtered based off of the selected scholarship that the user chooses over here in this field. And so when they select this icon, it then filters based off of the parameters that they provided. Over here in the Manage Scholarships tab, we have a list of all the available scholarships, and the user has the option to create a new scholarship, edit scholarships, delete scholarships, refresh the list, or just clear their selection. First, I'll demonstrate the ability to delete, and that just removes the scholarship from the list of scholarships, gets rid of all that information. When you create a new scholarship, which we'll rename Demo, if you do not specify the criteria, then default parameters are used. And you can see it reappears here in the list of scholarships. The user then has the ability to edit scholarship criteria, to which the user can then set the parameters based off of, say, cumulative GPA. They could specify whether they wanted to search greater than or equal than, less than or equal, based off of whatever parameters the user wants. They then specify it right over here. And these are provided as MongoDB queries, which we've chosen to implement them this way because our user is a computer scientist who will be aware and familiar with databases. Over here in the limit, this specifies how many results are returned. And so when the limit is 0, that means the maximum number of results is returned. If we go back over to the Generate Acceptance Letters tab, and we select Demo, and we filter again, you see that the parameters have changed, and so a new list is provided. The user can then fill out these fields here, which is just general information, and this information is to be used within the letter. As you can see, the bottom 2 fields, the second last field is a template letter option, which is a user-created document which will have placeholders in it where we'll replace those values with this information that's been provided. The folder is just where everything will be saved. The documents that are generated from the student information will all be saved to the local device. And so the user then also has the option to go through this list of candidates who are qualified, make a selection, and then generate letters if they so wish. Once they do that, they are prompted and they are asked whether they would like to view the made or created documents in the File Explorer. Here they are. And so then they can clear the selection and begin the process over again. I'll be handing it over to Angel to discuss the sending emails and outstanding student awards tab.
Alrighty. So similarly to the Generate Acceptance Letters tab, we're going to be filling out similar information. There's just a few key differences. So for the sender email field, it's not in this tab because we're gonna have to, the user will have to authenticate with their Google account. So the email address that's going to be put in the letter, as well as the email address they're going to be using to send the email, will be their authenticated Google account or their Gmail. So to demonstrate this, I need to close this file and open one with valid email addresses. So in this example, we're going to be using my emails. So right here, similarly to the other tab, we just select scholarship and filter, and we fill out these fields and we select the candidates. And another few differences here from the other tab, since we're sending emails, we need to provide the email subject line as well as the email body. So the email subject line is exactly what it sounds like. It's the subject line that's on the email when you're viewing your inbox. That's the main thing that gets showed. So right here, I'm just gonna put something simple and short. And for the email body, that's like the actual body of your email. So when you like click on an email in your inbox, it shows the body, which is just like dear, to whom it concerns, and then the body and such. And in this text box for the email body, it has rich text support, meaning you can draft the email in a word processing application such as Microsoft Word or Google Docs. And if you copy text from there and paste it into this text box, the formatting will be preserved, such as the font size, the font style, the color, and so forth. But in this example, I'm just going to use the default styling used in this application. So, dear student, congrats. Letter is attached below. So now that I have everything filled out and I have the student selected, I can click email recipients. And it's going to open a tab in your browser, and it's going to make you authenticate with your email address, or your Google account more specifically. So if you notice, if I try to authenticate with a Google account that is not my MSU, an MSU associated email address, such as my MSU Texas or a staff email address, it will deny you access from authenticating because it's like an internal, it only allows internal email addresses to be used, which is another security measure. So if I go back and I use my MSU Texas email, it will let me proceed. And right here, it's explaining to the user what permissions they're allowing the application to have, such as viewing their name, email address, language, preference, profile picture, and more. And over here, it will tell the user that the application will view their emails, manage and send emails, manage, create, and delete Google Forms. And if you click allow, it will say the authentication flow is going to be completed. Now we may close the window if you desire. And right here, when we go back to the application, it shows us this dialog indicating that the emails were successfully delivered and prompts us to click yes if we want to view them in the browser. If we click yes, it opens our inbox. And here's a letter with the specified data. And if I click on the document, it has all the information we entered earlier, and it has the student's name, current date, the award amount, scholarship name, the sender's name, the sender's email address, the sender's title, and so forth. So going back to the application, for the Outstanding Students Award tab, the graphical user interface is not completely finished, still a work in progress. And the backend is nearly complete. We're at the point where we can successfully create a Google form through API calls through Python, as well as changing the description and title of the Google form, as well as being able to create questions with the data we provide. In the future, we should be done with the Outstanding Student Awards tab pretty soon. But for now, we can't really demo anything because there's nothing to demo on the graphical user interface side. And a quick run through of the menu bar. So as we've seen previously, these are kind of intuitive and they all have keyboard shortcuts such as Control O for opening a file, Control S for saving a file, and so forth. They're pretty self-explanatory. Save saves the current state of the table in the same name as the file we opened, and save as saves the current state of the table and a new file that we specify the name with, and close file just clears the table and removes all the contents from that file. And if we click exit, it closes the application. And onto the help tab. So if you click help or about, currently that is not fully implemented, but in the future, it will redirect the user to the appropriate information, such as the manual for the help action and the about information for the about action. And for the about QT action on this tab, if we click about QT, it shows a quick overview of what QT is, which is what we use to design the graphical user interface. And it also shows the version, the licensing, as well as the copyright. So that's all we have for you today for this demo.